Hey again, Stephen Scott, Rugby Show. All the best on behalf of the All Blacks.
Just a shout out to the Stephen Scott Rugby Show. Awesome. Cheers, brother.
G'day guys, just a shout out to the Stephen Scott Rugby Show. Awesome.
Cheers. Hi, my name's Phil from Sydney. I'm the captain of the Black Ferns.
Stephen Scott Rugby Show. How's it going, mate?
Just a wee shout out to the Stephen Scott Rugby Show. You guys are awesome. Cheers.
Hey guys, Artie here. Shout out to Stephen Scott Rugby Show.
Hi, I'm Andrew Middens, just working on building my CV and possibly get a gig on the Stephen Scott Rugby Show.
Kia ora, I'm Steve
Scott,
and this is the Stephen Scott Rugby Show. And on our show today, we're going to talk about the All Black squad, the All Black team, which has just been named to play the Wallabies in Bledisloe 3 in Japan. Scotty, who have we got in the team?
Yes, Steve. Well, a very interesting team. We talked about in our last show. We talked about the 51-man squad that was going to go to Japan, first of all to play the Wallabies, then to play Japan. And we're here today, and Steve, we're going to talk about that team. Some interesting calls that Steve Hansen has made here, but I'm very excited to get back into the season, talk about the All Blacks. And Steve, I'm going to talk about the team, and we'll discuss it as we go. Steve, okay, let's look at our front row, Steve. Let's look at our front row of the that Steve Hansen has chosen for this particular Bledisloe 3. Even though we say it's game 3, that we've already won the Bledisloe Cup, when the All Blacks play, there's no such thing as a dead rubber, Steve. And the team that he's chosen for this game, none of these guys on their mind are going to think of this as a dead rubber. They're going to think of it more as a preparation for next year's World Cup and for the upcoming 3 games that the All Blacks have got on this end-of-year tour.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. Steve, okay, the team that we've got. So 1, 2, and 3. So Joe Moody's back. Cody Taylor, again, has had a great year, great season. He's playing at hooker again. And at number 3, Owen Frank, Steve. So it's that formidable Crusaders front row there. Your thoughts, Steve, on that front row?
Yeah, look, to tell you, this just absolutely shows the strength in New Zealand rugby, especially in the front row. No Nipololala and no Carl Tunuafi.
Yes.
Mate, to leave them out just goes to show how strong our front row our props are at the moment, Scotty. I actually thought that Hansen and co might throw in Dane Coles into this test, but looks like they might be saving him for the Japan test, Scotty.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's great to have Dane Coles. I don't know where he is, but from reading a few things and watching a few videos, it looks like he's back fit. But there's a difference between being actually fit and being match fit. So yeah, interesting call. Hopefully we see Dane Coles next week, Steve, playing against the Japanese in Japan, Steve. Steve, our locks that we've got for this game, Samuel Whitelock and Scott Barrett. Brodie Retallick's in the squad, but he's not on the game day 23, Steve, and it's really good to have those 2 players back.
Oh, absolutely. You know, what can you say? Tried and tested. Scotty Barrett's had a massive year. At the beginning of the year, you know, he wasn't in that All Black, you know, the top 3 or 4 locks in New Zealand. He's now firmly established himself as number 3 in New Zealand with the All Black coaches. And he's had a great year, Scotty Barrett. I do worry a little bit about Samuel Whitelock because he's had a big season, Scotty.
Yeah.
He hasn't had a lot of a break, and I think they may give him a break for the Japan game because after that we've got England and Ireland respectively. So he's had a massive year too, Scotty.
Yeah, definitely, Steve. And there's talk this week of some of these seasoned All Blacks. They like to feel in the idea of being there in Japan. So after the 2019 World Cup, that might be a destination for a few of our All Blacks there, Steve. Steve, our loose forwards, we spoke about it in one of our previous shows, who was going to replace Sam Cane. And we both said that Ardie Savea. So Ardie Savea is coming in at 7, Kieran Reid at 8, and Liam Squire at 6. Good to see Liam Squire back. He's had a bit of an injury concern there. He missed a couple of games. And I think this is the best 6, 7, and 8 that we can put on the field right now without any injuries. And Ardie has really, really stood up in the last couple of games for the All Blacks, Steve.
Yeah, look, it's interesting that you said that, Scotty, because I heard Zinzan Brook talking about Ardie, and he believed Ardie's actually become a genuine number 8 also. So if anything was to happen to Kieran Reid, touch wood, he believes that Ardie is good enough now to step in to be a number 8 also. So Ardie can now, you could probably say Ardie can cover 7 and 8. Liam Squire, I like seeing him in the team because he's a really good option in the lineout. Gives us another option to go to. And obviously Kieran Reid. Look, Kieran Reid needs a lot of good game time. He really hasn't had a lot of game time this year because of injury. So hopefully this end of year tour will give him a lot of game time. But my understanding is, Scotty, I might be wrong, is that after this game, Kieran Reid and a few of the other boys are actually going to be heading over to the UK, and they won't be part of the Japanese test. So,
correct.
Yeah,
no, definitely. No, you're right there, Steve. There's a couple of them are going to be rested, so they have another couple of weeks off. They'll be fresh, ready to go against England, ready to go against Ireland, and those other 19 extra players are there with them or will join the All Black squad, because in New Zealand right now we've got the Mitre 10 Cup finals for the 2 divisions, and so the players who are playing in those competitions will join the All Black squad most probably Sunday morning in Japan. Steve, this is an interesting one. So let me talk about our backline that we've got. TJ Perenara, he's coming in at 9. Yeah, that's right. TJ starting against the Wallabies. No Aaron Smith. TJ deserves his time there in that 9 jersey. He's going to get that shot to start there. Number 10, Beauden Barrett. Sonny Bill Williams is going to be outside of Bodie, and outside of Sonny Bill, we've got Ryan Crotty. On our wings again, we've got Rico Ioane on the left wing, and Ben Smith on the right wing. And coming in at fullback, one of my Chiefs players and a hot player who's been unlucky the last couple of tests. He didn't make the game day 23, but my man Damien McKenzie, Macca, will be starting at 15. And how exciting is that, Steve, to see Damien McKenzie at the back of that line with those wingers, with those centres, with Beauden Barrett there. Wow, that is a lot of X factor, Steve.
cool. It's it makes you salivate, Scotty, just to think about that whole team. Jack Goodhue, the only for it to be the best backline, I think it's missing Jack Goodhue. I'd put him in place of Ryan Crotty, but Crotty needs to get some game time too. I understand that. The big loser here, I think, Scotty, is the Fijian winger. What's his name?
Waisaki Naholo.
Waisaki. He kind of loses in this thing because there's really no place for him if they sort of keep if Hansen and co. So if Hansen and co decide, okay, they want to put Ben Smith on a wing, it's going to. Unfortunately, Naholo is going to be sacrificed for it because they'll keep Ione on the other wing, and D-Mac at fullback, or they could put Ben Smith at fullback and bring Waisaki in. But I like it. It's gonna be a really good. It's gonna be a really interesting game. This game, actually, some people reckon, like you were saying at the top end, that this is a no game. No, this isn't a no game. This is a really important game for the Wallabies, too, Scotty. But for us also, we because if you remember last year, Scotty, we were at the Brisbane game. They pulled our pants down and they beat us.
That's right.
And so we don't want to be caught with our pants pulled down again, because if we lose this match,
yes,
we could be knocked off number one by Ireland.
That's right. Correct.
If Ireland continue to win and we lose this game, and somehow Japan beat us, we will lose our number one status that we've occupied for many years, Scotty.
Yeah, definitely. And no New Zealand and no All Black wants to go that low to be as second place, second best in the world. Steve, just a note on Jack Goodhue there. He suffered glandular fever when he was over in South Africa. That he suffered from glandular fever, and he's still overcoming those symptoms. And otherwise, I think we would have seen him in that game day 23.
Okay.
Steve. Unlucky for Jack, and let's hope that Jack his health as well, and we see him playing against Ireland and England in the coming weeks, Steve. Steve, our bench. Let's talk a bit about our bench here.
Yeah.
No surprises here, but that man you talked about at the start, Big Carl Tunukuafi, he's on our bench. Nathan Harris is our hooker, who'll be coming on in the 65th, 70th minute for Cody Taylor, unless injuries occur. Carl Tunukuafi. And here's another one, Steve, who hasn't had a lot of rugby this year, but he's really worked hard, worked his way back into the squad. Nepo Lolala. It's good to have Nepo back, and he's a very strong scrummager.
Unbelievable scrummager, that guy, Scotty.
He is.
Just imagine him
solid.
Just imagine him coming on in the 60th minute.
Yeah, wow.
It's unbelievable. It really is, Scotty. And that's where I think we'll win this match on Saturday is, again, our bench will come in and will dominate the Aussies.
Yeah, most of it. And talking about bench, Steve, the next player who's been unlucky the last maybe 3 All Black games is that of the great All Black Brodie Retallick. Brodie Retallick coming off the bench. So I can't wait to see Brodie back on the field, and he can't wait to get back on the field, firing on all 4 cylinders. The other loose forward option coming off the bench, Steve, is that of Matt Todd. Matt Todd didn't have to go very far. He didn't have to travel from New Zealand to get to Japan. He was already in New Zealand, as we've discussed in the past. That there's a clause there that he can play for New Zealand because he's playing for the Crusaders next year in the Super Rugby. So Matt Todd, and it'll be nice to see Matt Todd, have him in the system, coming up to World Cup. We need him in the system there. So he'll be coming off the bench for either Artie or one of those loose forwards. Aaron Major, another one who's on the bench for this particular game. There's a reason why, I don't know.
Sorry, he's got Aaron Smith.
That's right, Aaron Smith. He having him coming off the bench, it's pretty scary for the Wallabies to have him. Also, Richie Mo'unga and Anton Leonard-Brown, two pretty faithful backs who will come onto the field at some time. Just another mention, Steve, that this game is Sonny Bill Williams' 50th test for the All Blacks. It started off in 2010, a year before the 2011 World Cup. So yeah, that's a big milestone for Sonny. What an elite athlete he is, Steve. But that's our bench, that's our squad. Pretty happy with that team, Steve. Your thoughts, Steve?
Yeah, look, Scotty, I think we'll 10 plus. I think we'll beat the Wallabies by. Yeah, I don't have a lot to say about the Wallabies. I haven't seen a lot of them. I didn't see the game against the Pumas where they come back really well. Um,
Yes.
so I can't say too much about them. They've had an up and down season, more downs than up, to be honest. And I think it's going to be another down tomorrow. Unfortunately, that's my humble opinion, Scotty. And I reckon the All Blacks will take it by 10 plus.
I think so too, Steve. I think the All Blacks have got a bit of fuel in the tank left over. Having all these fresh players coming off, it's a pretty not a new look team for the All Blacks, but it's a lot of fresh faces in there that haven't been playing the last couple of games. So it's nice to see, and it is. It's a little bit scary for the Wallabies having a squad like that come out and play. Looking forward to it, Steve.
So not too long now, everybody, for the prize, the 2018 All Black top that you can see there was Scotty, the signed All Black jumper. Not long to go. The final game of the All Black test, by the looks of it, we're on about 300 subscribers. Our goal is 1,000. We've got about 700. But there it is, Scotty. That's 2018. And the way that you can win that jumper that Scotty's got right there, is to go to our YouTube channel, Stephen Scott Rugby Show. I'll put a link down in the descriptions, and join our page. Click on the join now button, the little subscribe now button, and click on the bell. So whenever we make a posting like this, you'll be first to see what we have to say, Scotty.
Yeah, definitely, Steve. And I just want to thank all of our those who are following us on our Facebook page, the Stephen Scott Rugby Show on Facebook, and also, like Steve said, all those who are following us, who have subscribed to our YouTube channel. Yeah, we've got a lot of good feedback. It's great to talk to you guys wherever you are around the world. We're in this for rugby, importantly that of the All Blacks. We love the All Blacks and passionate about the All Blacks, and we enjoy bringing our content to you.
Awesome. Hey, Scotty, can we do this on this channel? But quick shout out to the Kiwis. Good luck, boys.
We can, yeah, most definitely. I'm talking here Queensland time, Australia. 12:30 a.m. I think it is, Sunday morning. Our Kiwi boys are playing Great Britain over there in Great Britain. So to all our boys over there in Great Britain playing against the English rugby league team, all the best, boys. You guys played awesome against Australia.
And congratulations to our Kiwi girls who took out the first sevens tournament of the season, Scotty.
Yeah, definitely. They're untouchable, those girls, and I think we're going to see a lot more competition wins from our New Zealand Sevens girls. Great job, guys.
And just before we wrap it up, Scotty, can I just say a big heads up to the Tongan supporters who went to go around the world, really, but who went to Mount Smart Stadium to support Mate Tonga. What an amazing crowd, Scotty. And don't the Tongans just do it the best?
Most definitely, Steve. I was so proud. I'm not Tongan. I don't support Tonga, but on that day, the passion of the Tongan people, wow, it's right up there with the All Blacks fans. But honestly, you guys done it the best that I've seen, and I just love the passion of the Tongan people and how they get behind their rugby teams. But great job, guys. Great job.
Hey, thanks, everybody, and All Blacks forever.